Wait a minute. Good morning. Goodness, have mercy. Goodness, have mercy, mercy, mercy. Hold on. As the world turns, hold on, this is my favorite one. Hold on. Stop laughing, y'all. This is serious. Y'all stop it. Cut it out. Hold on. Stop laughing. Stop. This is the serious part. Everybody hold hands. Everybody hold hands. All right, let me stop. Let me stop. Oh, but Lord, I'm having a little fun. Oh, goodness. Oh, but those songs, they have so much emotion to them, y'all. They don't compose like they used to, y'all. They got some, you used to have tears in your eyes because because you wondered if JR got shot and Dallas came on and Falcon Crest came on and Guiding Light General Hospital. Listen, y'all, the world is a stage. The world is a stage. It's a stage. And that was one of my favorites. That was Falcon Crest. How y'all doing this morning? Isn't it good? You just kind of get it out. Just have to get it out in the morning. Let your frustrations out and try to remember that none of this is real. Hold on, I gotta change my background. This is my background. This is the background I want. This is a drama. We're gonna talk about Jerusalem, y'all. This is a drama. All of this is a drama. And I'm just laughing. I'm laughing my butt off. Please, I know Buddha, right? My mother was hooked. My mother and my babysitter, my mama and Miss Smoot, that was my babysitter. They were hooked. Boy, you better not be making no noise when it's time for General Hospital to come on, Young and the Restless, Guiding Light. When they came on, that's it, because you knew when you... So you take me back to my childhood. As soon as you heard this. Shh! Take a nap! Take a nap! Take a nap! Get in the bed. Pretend you sleep. Y'all gotta play quietly. The stories is on. All right. Let me stop. All right, I'm getting serious now. I know I'm upsetting people. Okay, so as the world turns, who we got this morning? It's just I don't believe none of this stuff, yo. To me, it's nonsense. And you just sit back and you like it's because you the sides and all of this nonsense. It's like, okay, they do this, what they gonna do? Then they react, they do that, then they react. I think y'all should be some mimes. That's what I think. I think y'all should think like everything okay and just don't say nothing. Cause the person that you know how to irritate somebody the most, how they really get to them. If you really want to get to the 1%, you really, really, really want to bother them, don't react. Don't. Just you know how irritating that is to somebody to not react to their drama. So I'm thinking we don't react. I'm sorry. I'm off. How is everybody doing this morning? Hey, good morning, Marek. I'm sorry, Renee, Magdalena, Brother Tom, Georgia, Buddha. Everybody's here. Brother Carl is in the house. Mark, walk, walk. How you doing, Mark? I got to get me some chickens, Mark. I'm with you. Sister Denise. So, hey, Stacy in the house, Maribel. All right, so I guess what's hot and popping, what everybody's talking about, with hot in the streets right now, is everybody talking about Jerusalem and Palestine, and I'm I just found it hilarious. I think I posted something this morning. I was sitting here, I was thinking about it, and I was like, wait a minute. So let me do my history on this, because I don't remember the history. I kind of want to go back a little bit. Like I always, before I react to something, because my Trump friends on this side, like, yeah, this is a good thing. We're gonna move to Jerusalem. Jesus. And then the liberals are like, oh my God, it's the end of the world. Who would come up with such a horrible thing? You're a monster. You damn it. Resist. And I'm just sitting here in the middle like, okay. Now I know that you think this is going to be the greatest thing since poured rice and Jesus was born in Palestine. So I think you're going to be happy with this. And the other side, and it's just the extremists I'm talking about. I'm not talking about the common sense, logical, moderate voter. I'm talking about the ignorant extremist, everything is perfect or everything is horrible. So I want to do my research. I kind of wanted to look back, because back when all of this was happening, where was I at? I was like 95, 96. Well, one, I was trying to not go to prison because I was in college and Bill Clinton was trying to put all the people with brown skin in prison. But that's another story. We're not going to go. So, but it's linked. It's all related, y'all. It's all linked up. So if you go back into history, you know what? I'm going to do this. Did I post? I think I posted a link. Brother Paul. Whoever they say don't listen to, that's who you need to listen to. Brother Ron Paul. So I went back and I had to check. So what Ron's saying about this? Because Ron always, he comes with some history, and he's not, I don't know that he still even is affiliated with the Republican Party. He always just throws like a really logical, wise, historical curve to things. So first of all, for y'all who aren't following, y'all don't watch the Lion News, CNN, Fox, MSNBC, all the news in America to try to get you to believe what they need you to believe, the things to get you to react. Trump has decided, like I said the right way. President Trump, he's decided to agree with the liberals and the progressives that that the capital of Israel should be Jerusalem. I said it that way for a reason, because y'all know this was all some Clintonism, right? This is the history of this. So Clinton was running against, was it Bob Dole? And what did Dole do? Dole said, he needed the Israel vote. He needed I want to say the rich Christian, the rich conservatives, the rich evangelicals, because the poor, that's a whole different thing. And the middle class, that's a whole different thing. But he wanted to get some of that money. So he said, we're going to make Jerusalem the capital of Israel. And of course, what did Clinton do? The same thing he did about when he ran against Reagan with the crime bill. When Reagan said, damn it, I'm going to put a whole bunch of minorities in prison. Clinton said, nope, I can put more than you. And he launched the crime bill. Well, Clinton said the same thing. So Dole said, we're going to get some of this Israel money, right? Because it's all about counting votes. It's all they always do. They count the votes because we dumb as a bag of bricks, and they go with it and they understand that. So Clinton responded, you going to get the Israel vote? No, because I'm going to get the Israel vote more than you can get the Israel vote. I'm going to move the capital of Israel to Jerusalem. And meanwhile, the Muslims and the rest of the world like, what the hell is wrong with y'all? Do y'all understand what this means? And the voters are off. Well, I'm going to vote this way because I'm going to vote this way. And so if you go back to it, I'm not going to blame the progressives for it, but really, and the liberals, but if you go back to it, it really comes down to ignorance in voters, right? Like voters never stood up and said, wait a minute, we don't want to do this. This is stupid. Why would we do this? Because what was it? How did they end up there? Was it 90? Was it? My history's a little rough. I might have to go back and look at it. I thought it was for some reason it was 1967 when Israel invaded and took over Jerusalem, or at least that part of it, before it was divided up. And since it's supposed to be an international city, and so hold on, I don't really even know where to go with it because it's so much. But the important aspects for those of y'all who have to leave early, everybody can't hang out with us all morning. The important aspect is he came up and gave this speech, boy. He just gave his speech. I appreciate the fact he tries to speak to both sides. He does. He tries to speak to both sides. But if you really, when you finish the speech, I'm not going to play the whole speech, but when you wrap it all up, what effectively is happening is nothing. Nothing's happening. Ain't nothing gonna happen. Nothing to see here. So he said that we're gonna move the capital, which is what the Senate said when they agreed with it. It's what the Congress voted for, bipartisan, when they agreed to it and wrote the law. It's what Clinton said we would do when the Democrats wanted to move the capital to Jerusalem. And it's what the Republicans meant, when they said it. But what he came out and said was nothing. He said, I'm going to move the capital to Israel. And then he signed the 6-month waiver to not move the capital to Israel. Not yet. So I'm trying to process this, and I'm trying to think, what in the world is going on? This just looks like some drama. This looks like some... So this is what I think happened. I think you have to take it all as a whole. I think you got to look at the whole world and try to figure out the 1% geopolitics as to what's going on. Why in the world would he say that and not do it? And it makes no sense. He did what Obama did. He did what who was before him? Bush did. Who did what Clinton did? So everyone's doing the same thing. They're all saying the same things, but they're doing the same. And so he's doing the same thing. Nothing changed. But we lost Syria. And by we, I mean Wall Street. This is what I think happened. I think we were supposed to be in Syria. We're supposed to create more terrorists, do another regime change, manufacture a bunch of hate, kill a bunch of people, fund the sex slavery and all the stuff everything we like to do when we destabilize a country. And just build up terrorism all over the world so we can do more colonization and put more money into it and fight the war on terror more. But it failed. Because Russia, and by Russia, I mean the Russian, what is the name of the Russia Wall Street? That's what I want to know. Because Russia is 99% people just like us. And I know somebody helped me out with the name. Russia has a Wall Street. What is the Russian market called? I can go to Eco Asia. I know somebody else will put it up here. What is the Russian Wall Street called? I don't know. Anyway, y'all know what it is. So the Russian 1%, the markets in Russia, because Russia doesn't exist, not from a border perspective. It doesn't exist any more than America exists from a border perspective. The borders are all about markets and money in the 1%. So the names, Russia, America, that's just for the dummies. That's just for us, y'all. That's just for us to get lost in like nationalism, patriotism. None of that exists. So the Russian market beat the American market, Wall Street, to Syria. So they're going to make all the money on that. They stabilized the country, and they just announced yesterday, which is a weird thing. They announced it again, but they announced it again that the major actions are over and Syria is stabilized. They just bombed the rest out of the ISIS and pushed them out. And so I think the CIA is sitting back saying, God dang it. Dadgummit. We're going to be unemployed, y'all. We're going to be on the unemployment line with the coal miners. I'm not standing in line behind no damn coal miners. They dirty. I'm in the CIA, damn it. I get dirty too, but I make a hell of a lot of money. I get to play with a lot of toys. And so they didn't want to stand the unemployment line. And so they were thinking, how do we stir up some anger and some hate in the Muslim world? How do we piss off 1.9 billion Muslims and try to get a few of them who aren't thinking to make them into terrorists? How do we get them to do something? How do we get them to react so we can keep our jobs? And thus, this whole long, drawn-out speech to get everybody upset, whooping and hollering, get the left yelling and screaming, and the right cheering, and the Muslims angry protesting in the streets, to not do a daggone thing. This is what I want everybody to think about. And this is what I'm thinking about this morning, is the fact that it's a bipartisan thing. America decided on this a long time ago. So no matter which way any of this was going to go, and by America, I mean the 1%. Y'all don't be mad at America. 99%. 99%, we're just stupid. We lost in a lot of silliness. But the 1% decided that, yeah, Jerusalem is going to be the capital. So no matter how this shakes out in the peace process, whatever, Jerusalem is going to be the capital. He came out and said that. But I actually watched the entire speech. I enjoyed the speech. I was so confused. Yo. Can y'all watch the end of the speech with me? Are y'all gonna hang on? Y'all gonna start like typing 54 and whatever? Y'all don't want. Listen. Some things you have to listen to. I thought the end of the speech was delicious. Can we go listen to the end of the speech? There's somewhere right here. I'm not gonna make y'all listen to the whole thing. I think this is it. I'm not mistaken.
Held at bay by bloodshed, ignorance, and terror. Peace is never beyond the grasp of those willing to reach it. So today we call for calm, for moderation, and for the voices of tolerance to prevail over the purveyors of hate. Our children should inherit our love, not our conflicts. I repeat, the message
Our children should inherit our love, not our conflicts. Totally agree. 100,000% agree. No American president or administration has ever agreed with that. I doubt that this one will either, but as far as quotes go, remember I said, don't get lost in the identities. When somebody says something true is true. That is true. Our children should not, they should inherit our love, not our conflicts. That's not how the 1% make money. That's not how his dad made money. It's not how he makes his money. It's not how Obama's making his money. But anyway, let's keep going.
I delivered at the historic and extraordinary summit in Saudi Arabia earlier this year. The Middle East is a region rich with culture, spirit, and history. Its people are brilliant, proud, and diverse, vibrant, and strong. But the incredible future awaiting this region is held at bay.
Hold on. Stop it. So, yes, said something else true. He said the people in the Middle East are brilliant, brave, and strong. Yes, they are. They totally are. Don't be mad. I know y'all gonna get mad. My Trump friend, they get mad. I do this. I'm sorry. He's like he's throwing up some gang signs up. Right. Listen, I did the same thing to Obama. So don't. Hey, watch that. I don't believe none of these people. But you have to be able to laugh at a few things, y'all. Don't take it so seriously.
by bloodshed, ignorance, and terror. Vice President Pence will travel to the region in the coming days to...
Okay, bloodshed and terror. Okay, make sure y'all know what he's talking about. He's talking about us. That's us. That's it, because we do the terror. That's us. So y'all, I just want to translate in case you didn't understand what he was saying.
Reaffirm our commitment to work with partners throughout the Middle East to defeat radicalism that threatens the hopes and dreams of future generations. It is time for the many who desire peace to expel the extremists from their midst. It is time for all civilized nations and people to respond to disagreement with reasoned debate, not violence. And
you know, I'm going to stop it right there. Did you hear that? Did y'all hear that? It is time to respond to disagreements with debate, not violence. Debate, not violence. To my left, extremist friends, and my right, extremist friends. And hopefully he's talking to himself. Hopefully he's talking to Obama. Hopefully he's talking to everybody else who responds to debate with violence and ignorance and extremism as opposed to just debate, negotiating. This is the thing that adults used to do, y'all. It's called talking. It's the craziest thing in the world, which is why they don't want you talking to anybody that's different than you, because they want the violence. They thrive on the violence, which is why the CIA put him up to this, because he needs our Muslim brothers and sisters, 1.9 of y'all all around the world, billion, need y'all to respond. And I'm going to ask you, do not respond. This is just another way to manufacture more terrorism, how they call it, because the CIA needs a job in your community. That is why. The capital is not moving to Jerusalem. This is the same BS that the Democrats and the Republicans have been talking for the longest time. Don't listen to what people say. Always listen to watch what they do. He's doing the same exact thing. Don't respond. You have a lot of people who are highly trained to come murder a bunch of folks in y'all's town. They have a lot of drone bases all over the world, and they want to use them. So they need you in the streets. They need you riding, and especially not in Palestine, especially not on the outskirts in and around Israel. Because let me clarify something for y'all. There's always the 1% and the 99%. And you can get lost in this if you're not paying attention. So, because all of this, it has to do with the evangelical vote, right? Now, I like to talk about my brothers and sisters evangelicals, because that's how I got started, right? So y'all think, oh, we're talking about evangelicals. Yeah, I am. Damn it. I went down there when Billy Graham came to town. I went down there and got saved with Billy. So go and tell me something. No, I've been there. So there's a difference between the 1% wealthy Christians that hate Christ, hate everything he stood for. There's a difference between the 1% Jews that hate God and everything God stands for and everything God said and every last one of those commandments and the whole Old Testament. And the 99% poor who are just trying to live a good life. The ones who are just trying to do the right thing. The 99% Christian, Jews, Muslims, atheists, the majority of people around the world who simply want to live life and be left alone. Our biggest problem, though, is a lot of those 99% groups, they don't realize that most of their leaders are psychopaths. They don't realize that most of their leaders get them into this stuff. So I'm going to ask you a question. From a Palestinian-Israel conflict perspective, whose side, if there is a side, whose side do you think Christ, this to pose a question to my evangelicals, would be on? The side of the wealthy, where of course he said it's easier for the camel to pass through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to inherit the kingdom of heaven. So do you think he's standing with the rich Israeli government or the poor Palestinian people? And I'm talking about even the Palestinians that are Christians, right? Because they're not all Muslims, a whole lot of Palestinian Christians. Do you think he stands with the oppressed? Where do you think he was born? Do you think he was born into the oppressed, or do you think he was born into the wealthy? Do you think Christ would be standing with the large population in Israel who just want this conflict over, the ones who don't want to kill them all? Or do you think he stands with the government, who's constantly, and the supporters talk about, we just need to kill all the Palestinians, including the Christian Palestinians? Who do you think? It's always a 99% and a 1%, and the 99% gets lost in the 1%'s BS. So anyway, I'm gonna keep going. You say you love Christ, evangelical. I'm just saying, conservative, whatever you can call yourself. We all family. Y'all like all these different names, but you say that you love Christ. You got to know what he talked about. You got to know where he was born, the poor family he was born into, and where he would be standing. So hold on, let's keep going. It's a good. The end of the speech was good, y'all. It was confusing as all hell, but because I don't believe none of it. Hold on.
It is time for young and moderate voices all across the Middle East to claim for themselves a bright and beautiful future. So today, let us rededicate ourselves to a path of mutual understanding and respect. Let us rethink old assumptions and open our hearts and minds to possible and possibilities. And finally, I ask the leaders of the region, political and religious, Israeli and Palestinian, Jewish and Christian and Muslim, to join us in the noble quest for lasting peace. Thank you. God bless you. God bless Israel. God bless the Palestinians. And God bless the United States. Thank you very much.
Got all of y'all. God bless you. God bless you. He done blessed everybody. Palestinians got a little blessing. The Muslims got some blessing. All right. Y'all gonna see y'all. I have to go see what y'all talking about. This is my perspective. I could be wrong. Let me see what y'all talking about. I could be totally wrong. But I think that this is just some more of that old trying to be serious. Don't react. Don't react, y'all. Hold on. Let me see what y'all are saying. I'm probably getting cussed out on here. Guy, listen, this is serious, but don't react. Don't react to this. It's all this. I don't believe presidents are elected. They are selected. This is my fervent belief. I know my Trump friends, y'all think y'all elected the president. And my other Clinton friends, they think, oh, we almost got him out. They cheated. Russia did it. Russia stole it. That's not how this goes. I think they sat there and they said, you know what? Who can we make more money with? Can we make money with Clinton, somebody who wears the business suits and tries to seem real straightforward and very logical and got logical people, Or do we make money with somebody we can get on Twitter and say any damn thing we need them to? Because y'all know the CIA runs Twitter now. Y'all know the CIA, they write all of Trump's tweets and they give them to him. Because they can say all the crazy stuff they want. They can do all the crazy stuff. It doesn't have to seem logical because everyone will believe it. And it's like he's a reality TV host. This is all reality TV, y'all. All of it. And the CIA, they just trying to make a little money. They're just a department. That's all it is. So, Brother Doug said it's 1% world greed. That's all this is. This is just the same lie. Please don't respond to it. Don't get all hooped up. Get your panties all up in a bunch out. Don't buy it. It's the same nonsense. Thank you, Brother Andrew. I don't know if it's the truth. This is how I see it. I'm getting kind of old, and after a while you get old, and I talk to a lot of old people, Brother Andrew, And they say the same thing, like they've been doing the same damn thing. And then you go back in history, this is not a Trump thing. But you're going to see all over the news, it's going to say Trump, 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 everywhere. Russia did it, Trump did it, and Russia helping them, and whatever. But the reality is, this was a liberal thing. This was a progressive move. How that makes any damn sense, it doesn't. And it's not supposed to. It was all about counting votes. And that's why we're here, because they know people go for this stuff and they'll vote for one side or the other. And we end up in this mess and we can't figure out how the hell to get out of it because we keep voting for the same ignorance. But, that's just me. I appreciate you thinking I'm telling the truth. I don't know that it's true. This is what I think. I'll post the facts, but this is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking we shouldn't be responding to this. Brother Mark said, yeah, we are the most stupid and we have short attention spans. Yes, we do, which is why I like to go back, listen to how all of this got started. And it always seems like it's the same two groups who keep flip-flopping in what they believe. And by the way, so when Dole started this, Dole was against the whole concept. Someone else started to move the Jerusalem make Jerusalem the capital. Dole was against it until he knew he'd get the votes, and then he was for it. But it's always the same. These people have no ethics. These people, they believe nothing. They do anything they can do to get you to stand behind them and clap. Yeah, I do the Facebook. I'm sorry. Hold on. Y'all, we all related. Y'all don't get so personal. Brother Mark, sometimes I have a little fun. You know me. And oh, goodness. Get it. This might be like a Hitler thing or something. Y'all ever notice how every time they always think the president is Hitler? Like Obama was Hitler, Bush was Hitler. But no, Bush was the Antichrist. And I don't think he was Hitler. Bush was the Antichrist, right? And Obama came in, he was the Antichrist and Hitler. And then Trump came in, he's, I guess, the Antichrist, Hitler, and the Russian something. But anyway, I don't know. Good morning, Mary. Good morning, Ish. Oh, he got the 45 going. I see. I didn't even know what that was till somebody told me. Brother Doug said, exactly what they need to, okay, they say exactly what they need to when really they are the exact opposite. Well, yeah, they always say whatever needs to be said I think this one, it was just to get people upset. That's all this is. We call them the puppets, but sometimes, Brother Doug, I think we're the puppets. I think they understand how to get us to react a certain way, and they do things just to get us to react. So I think we shouldn't be reacting. An observation, Brother Mark said, when he speaks with an open palm, he's not going with the program. That's an interesting observation, Mark. What fascinates me is when you have these behavioral people and they look at like their eyes. If you look this way, you look that way, look up or down when you're lying, or you start smiling when you're lying, and you start laughing when you think the 1% is lying. It could be possible that when he's doing something that is perhaps going against the establishment grain, I don't know, maybe he does that. I don't know. Maybe Obama had his characterism. And I'll be honest. I'm going to say something positive. Can I say something positive without getting in trouble? I'm going to try to say it. I honestly think that a lot of these presidents are good people. I think that they want to do good. And I think if you look back at their history and not at the ignorance that happened after they became politicians, like Obama and Trump, I think they were good people. I think they meant well. I think they were lost in their own little indoctrinations like we are, because they were both raised a certain way. But once you get to the highest levels of the kingdom, of the empire, of the earth, you don't get to make your own decisions. You have to go along with whatever you're told to do. And I think that's what he's No more General Hospital. I'm not gonna play any more General Hospital. Let me see what y'all talking about. Uh-oh. Sounds like he needs a little denture cream, Cheryl. Oh, Brother Mark, that's something I wanted to talk about. All right, so we're gonna leave this topic. Mark, you done sent me down the avenue. So you haven't noticed this is a good one. This is on topic too. Talking about the Pope. Talking about the Pope. More on this idea that the 1% are in control of everything, and a lot of them are psychopaths. Y'all know what happened when the Pope went to Myanmar? He was supposed to go there and check on the Rohingya, right? I'm probably pronouncing it wrong, the Rohingya Muslims. He got there. But before he got there, you know what they told him? They told him, they sat the Pope down and said, come here, Pope, sit down. Let me tell you something. Come here, Pope, sit down. Shut up. Tell you something, Pope. You can say anything you want, but don't say anything about the Rohingya. We murdering them, we genocide, raping and killing. But Pope, you can't say anything about it. You know, the Pope went there and he listened. He didn't say anything about the Rohingya while he was there. Nothing. Gave his speech, met the people, kissed the palms. I got a problem with that. I have a problem with that. I have a problem with the fact that if you are the leader of one of the largest religions in the world, Catholic religion, Christian brother, you supposed to be in line, in sync, Jesus Christ. Now, mind you, I'll be nice and say after the Pope left, after he left, he came out and said something. I didn't listen to what he said. I'll have to go back and look at it at a certain point in time. He did mention the Rohingya. If you go to a place and people are being raped and they're being murdered, and you don't say nothing, I got a problem with that. I do. Me personally, I don't serve that God. I don't. If I go to New York City and there's a woman and I know, stop it if you're from New York. Stop it. I go to any city, Chicago, whatever, and there's an alleyway and somebody's being raped, you're not going to ask me to walk by and do nothing. I don't care if it's 10, 15, 20 guys. You're not going to ask me to walk by and do nothing and say nothing. Now, mind you, you can say, oh, well, it was calculated and he was, had to get there, find out what's going on the ground and say something. No, that's not what's needed. That's not what's needed. If somebody has you down now and they are abusing you now, they don't need you talking 3, 4, 5 days, a week later. That is not what they need. So I'm not going to say nothing necessarily bad. I'm just going to say that when you look at these things, you have to ask yourself, try to come up with an analogy. If you were in a similar situation, what would you do? Would you even go to a land that was embracing genocide, mass murder, and rape? Would you even want to visit that government? Or would you want to sit outside the borders and like, y'all wrong? We need to get some Americans over here with some drones. We know y'all not going to come. And if y'all do come, y'all probably going to bomb the wrong side and make more terrorism. But you're supposed to speak. And if one of the smallest governments in the world can shut up the world leader of this religion temporarily for a moment, maybe, just maybe, that's not the right leader for y'all. I'm put my hand up a little bit. Do Trump. Do the Trump? No. That's not a leader of mine. That's not. I'm sorry. That's not, that person in that action was the wrong thing to do. And that person does not serve any God that I read anything about. All over the Bible. It's not the religious show. That's not what we're doing. But that was one of the things I had an issue with. I was going to talk about that a few days ago, and I never got into it. Brother Robert, that's kind of deep, man. I'm not sure I can say that. That's kind of deep. We're not gonna go there. I don't want to click people's identity politics. They click and all of a sudden they get mad and they start cussing and stuff. I don't like none of that cussing stuff. Yeah, Mark, that's what happens. They get punked into a mob, and that is what's happening. Let me show you. So they're starting to speak up about it, and they're starting to flip out, which is exactly what the CIA wants. They're starting to speak and get everybody rared up and going and getting them angry in the streets protesting. And of course, it's always going to end up in some sort of a tank in the face of a child. Y'all ever see those pictures? I don't know. Some of y'all came in late, but there was, we used to talk about that a little while back. Let me show you this. Let me go to Eco Asia. See if I can show you. What's the best way to put this? I'm going to talk about. I'm not even typing. I'm in the wrong window. Wow. If you ever go look for some pictures online. Oh, this is not the one. Oh, did they remove them? I don't see them. Oh, I'm not seeing what I wanted to see. Oh, that's why. If you ever go online, do a quick search. Nobody who's up to anything good ever will point a tank turret at a child. Nobody who serves any kind of a God that is good at anything, that has any love anywhere in it, would ever point a tank at a child. And so these pictures are all online. If you actually go and you look at, oh no, here's the one I want you to see. Look at this one. Look at this. Look at that. Look at that. You tell me that's a good damn thing to support. You tell me as an adult, as a parent, as a human effing being, that this is a good idea. Tell them this is a good thing to support. Look exactly where that turd is facing. That's not funny, y'all. And it's not games and it's not jokes. And these things, you got to determine who does that, who allows that. That's a psychopath. That's a 1% psychopath. And if you're cheering the 1% psychopaths, man, you're on the wrong side of this thing. And it's not even about if you're on the side of Palestine or Israel. It's about, are you on the side of peace or are you on the side of war and genocide? Those are the only sides. Those are ever the only sides we ever have. We have haves, we have have-nots. That's the only significant fight that has ever happened. So if you got a pastor of your church, your minister, whatever, trying to tell you that, oh, we got to get on side of this and we got to, destabilize and get Jerusalem back where it's supposed to be. And this is what God wants. Hold on. If that's what your God wants, your God is a psychopath. All right. If that's what your God wants, if that's what your God supports, and you actually think that, then I'm not sure what book you're reading. You're not reading the Bible. You ain't reading the Old Testament. There's something wrong with you. I love you to death, but you really got to think. All right. Anyway, what was I doing? Right. So anyway, everybody's responding to this and set me off on another path. Everybody's starting to respond. Here we go. Let's see what we're talking about. That's not been responding. Hold on. We got off in the commercial land.
Meanwhile, the U.S. Embassy in Israel is gearing up for potential clashes outside its doors by implementing extra security measures. It also issued a travel alert forbidding employees from traveling to Jerusalem's Old City. International leaders and the United Nations were quick to voice their concerns about recognizing Jerusalem as the capital, calling Washington's step to do so a radical one.
This is a regrettable decision which France does not approve of and which contradicts international law and UN Security Council resolutions.
We disagree with the U.S. decision to move its embassy to Jerusalem and recognize Jerusalem as the Israeli capital before a final status agreement. we believe it is unhelpful in terms of prospects for peace in the region.
The European Union expresses serious concern about today's announcement by the United States President Trump. The aspirations of both parties must be fulfilled and a way must be found through negotiations.
The fact is that the...
All right, so now everybody chimes in. We all fall into it like, oh yeah, it's a bad idea. It's a bad idea. Daggone Trump, why he got that? And everybody forgets the fact that this is not a Trumpism. This is a bipartisan agreement from a long time ago. But they also forget the fact that he's not going to do anything. They forgot they're not even processing that. No, he signed a 6-month waiver. And so, but everybody heads down this avenue. And so it's like this, it's groupthink and it's crowd mobism. And everybody gets upset and pushes this way. And, oh, America's going to do this. And I could be wrong. I mean, so I could actually be wrong. And he actually moves the Capitol. But at the end of the day, if the 99% actually wakes the hell up and they stop getting on board with these 1% left, right, have issues supporting the 1% that are just playing the whole world, it's not going to matter where they move the Capitol because we're going to undo it. These things are easily undone as they're done. And so this is why I'm asking brothers and sisters, the Muslims around the world, do not respond to this ignorance. I think America's waking up. This is what I see. I think America's waking up because I think the 99% are starting to see that the 1% are desperate. And this is why they're doing these things. This is why they want a reality TV host as president of the United States, because they know they can get away with a lot of drama and they can do a lot of crazy stuff. Sister Diane just asked, are you on the side of the children? Sister, I am always on the side of the children. Always till Sunday. If you are under the age of 26, I am always on your side. Why? Because I'm an adult, and I know that you don't even have a functioning frontal lobe, according to medical science. If you can't even form decisions, then you're not, as a human being, then you're not subject to any of the ignorant human being laws that they put on these children. There isn't a person in prison under the age of 26 that should be there. Not if you give a damn about what any God thinks. Not if you give a damn about what science says. But if you give a damn about the earth is flat and we're riding on the back of a turtle flying across space. If you believe your own little science and your own lies, then yeah, it makes sense. But yeah, sister, I'm always on the side of the kids. I will always back children over ignorant adults. Why? Because the adults have something called adult privilege. They have the privilege of being an adult. They have the privilege of experience. They have the privilege of having a frontal lobe to form these decisions, and the privilege to critique and criticize children who aren't even at that level yet. So yes, I'm always on the side of children. And if the man in that tank ever got in my face, well, hold on, let's see, how big is he? Some of those soldiers, but some of the troops there, they're kind of small. I don't know, I might be able to tank them. All right, come on, get on out the tank, mother. So yeah, no, I always am. I think that the only reason adults are here is to look out for the kids. That's the only thing. That's the only reason why we're here. And if you feel as an adult, I think I said a couple videos back, if you can, I can't even point a fake gun at a kid. Like I can point like a little water gun, whatever. But if it's a gun that actually looks like a gun, if it's a BB gun, if it's a fake gun that looks, I can't even, it's not even in me to point it at a kid, right? It's like I said, when we used to play with the police, we'd run up to police and go, bang, bang. They wouldn't take out their real gun to say, bang. They would take out their little finger and they would, I don't think adults point guns at kids. Psychopaths do that. And I know that adults don't point tanks at children. Psychopaths do that. And governments are people who send the soldiers to do this, because if you actually look online, there are a lot of pictures of tanks facing turrets at children. That's not what adults do. That's what very scared psychopaths do. So definitely on the side, always on the side of the kids, And it's the kids in Israel too, right? Because they have a right to grow up and feel safe too. Everybody has a right to grow up. No child should ever be harmed by the disagreement of an adult. And anytime that, adults disagree and children die, or they go to prison because they're grabbing the Palestinian children and throwing them in prison like they're hotcakes, which is part of why people in Israel are standing up, because they're sick of this crap too. So, the analogy I had a little while back, it's like you go to a restaurant, right? You go to a restaurant and you sit down and eat a meal. It's one of these restaurants that has a bar. And let's say, got a lot of kids and high chairs and stuff, and two ignorant big guys at the bar getting drunk. They disagree over something. They start fighting in the bar, and they're pushing each other around and knocking baby chairs over, falling on kids. Kids are getting hurt, whatever, in the restaurant. It's not your place to jump on the side of one of those adults and say, oh, I'm on his side. Oh, I'm on his side. No, it's not about that. It's about, wait a minute, y'all, the kids are getting hurt in this restaurant because you got two ignorant adults that are fighting over something that nobody in the restaurant gives a damn about. It ain't got nothing to do with the majority. And that's what all these wars are about. That's what every single one of these conflicts are about. They're about disagreements by the 1% that have nothing to do with the benefit of the majority, especially not the kids. So no, I don't do sides. If you're an ignorant adult, I call you an ignorant adult, and I will do my best to laugh real hard at you and not take you seriously. I do my mime thing. I'm not even. So yeah. Saida said it's the 1% playing God, and that's what they do. They play God because we believe they're God. Say it one more time. They play God because too many people actually believe they're God and actually worship the lies that they put forward and ignore what all of their gods say. They ignore all the protection for the young that we're supposed to have, all the love we're supposed to have, all the peace we're supposed to promote, and they throw it out because they actually believe the 1% are God. They believe that the 1% speaks for God, and they worship the 1%. They worship books. They don't worship gods. They worship people. That's a deep topic. It's wrong to have "In God We Trust" on greed money. Brother Doug said that. Is it wrong to have "In God We Trust" on currency? Well, let me answer that first and say this. First of all, it's wrong to have currency. That's number one. So before we talk about putting God in God We Trust on currency, first of all, it's wrong to have currency. And my stance with that is the same stance I have with anything. If you make a decision and kids get hurt in it, or killed, or raped, it's a bad idea. Currency has only served to do one thing on this planet. It's to divide people, push wealth up to a very small growing 1% into a 0.01%, and has gotten millions, hundreds of millions, if not billions of people killed. So currency should not exist. You can't have currency on a planet that you got children. You can't have it. Why? Because currency always gets to a point in the hands of adults where they feel it's okay to murder children. Over half the United States thinks it's okay to have drone warfare and murder a bunch of kids at weddings and funerals to kill one adult. So no, currency can't exist on this planet. Not on any planet. Now, if you got a planet out there that's full of adults, then you can have currency. Short of that, you cannot have currency. We've evolved past the concept, I think, of having currency. Putting "In God We Trust" on money. I don't really think that makes any sense. Like, even in our Cro-Magnon chimp existence right now, I don't think putting "In God We Trust" on money, I think it just serves to inflame, right? I just think it serves to get people upset. Oh, thank you, Crystal, but I'm not preaching. I don't preach. Ain't nothing preacher about me. I look at stuff, and if it looks silly to me, I say it's silly. If it looks right, I say it's right. And I'm wrong sometimes, which is okay. But you got to be wrong to ever want to be right. You got to trip and fall. So I put stuff out there. I get corrected, which is I'm okay with, because that's how I get smarter. Got this big old head, and I figure I should put something good in it. But it's not going to be good from one group or one side. I want the good from the truth from all sides and all people. Yay, science, right? Science. I think science and God are the same thing to me. I think science and God are the same daggone thing, which is why I'm not a flat earther. I'm just not. Y'all might be right. I've never been in space, but from everything that I see, it don't sound right that the earth is flat. And it don't sound right that the Israel government has anything to do with any gods, more to do probably with Satan. And their people are starting to call them out, right? So it's not just a side thing. They're calling them out. So watch out for lasers now. We're all in Star Trek. Well, you know, I drove past one of those 5G towers and I kind of I don't look at it the same way no more. I drive past them. I look up and I was like, oh, Lord. Let me make sure I'm not saying nothing on Facebook getting me shot. Which actually is another good point. So they're talking about now that the LA fires are worse than ever, that this perhaps is the worst firestorm ever. And another thing that pisses me off is the use of technology, right? Like, instead of saving people's lives and saving homes and all the animals getting burned up in these fires and saving the forest, we make technology to murder people, right? We deploy technology all over the world to do our own murdering, when we could have deployed technology, develop technology to prevent forest fires from going a little further than what they're supposed to. Now, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if the laser started it or the lightning started it or somebody sleeping in the woods and didn't put out. I don't know. What I do know is, because we're all divided, that the 1%, they don't have to focus any technology on saving lives. So when these things happen, a lot of people die. A lot of people, they lose their homes. A lot of animals lose their home. A lot of habitat gets burned up, because we were supposed to by now evolve past a place where murdering people for money was a good idea, because that's what every war is about. So, you know, so the thing that irritates me about California is that it shouldn't be happening, right? It shouldn't be happening. We should be smart enough to say, well, okay, this is normal and natural, and it's a natural carbon cycle, but we're only going to allow so much of the forest to get burned up, and that replenishes things, and the certain plants that only grow in, you know, the post-carbon environment from the forest fires, they can come forward, you know, but we're going to limit that to this space where people don't live and there's nothing there, that nothing can die because we've killed enough animals. And we're supposed to have evolved to that point, because we know we have the technology for the most part. We just don't have the focus, which is why nothing good gets done in America, because Americans we're too lost in emotion and being childlike than to take our government back and get our government to actually do things for the people who actually live here, instead of murdering people that live abroad. So that's the issue I have with California, and it's the same thing with Puerto Rico. The hell's happening in Puerto Rico? Puerto Rico could have sunk, y'all. Everybody could be gone and nobody would even know. Last time I checked, I think 60% of the country still didn't have power. 60% of a territory within the United States, within, it's not an island that's hard to get to. It's within the United States, y'all. We've evolved past this. We got ships and airplanes. And over 60% still doesn't have power. Like, this is what we're supposed, our brains are supposed to be used for, y'all. We're adults. Our brains aren't supposed to be used for the left fighting the right and the right fighting the left and the Muslim fighting the Christian and any other stupid, ignorant, childish ideologies that you have on the idea that your leadership have anything to do with the future generation of anybody or any child but their children and the 1%. You're not supposed to be that dumb. Like, that's, all right. Anyway. Got a little serious. I'm sorry. I got a little serious. I don't believe none of it, y'all. I don't think it's true. I don't think none of that's going on. It's not true. None of it's true. None of it is true. Don't take them serious. Don't react. Be a mime. It's all just drama. Don't react, because that's what they want you to do. If a person controls your reaction, when they make up all of this news, when they come up with all these narratives, they own you. And we don't want people to own you. That's how we lose the world. If you can get along, the whole right, left, Christian, whatever you think you are, black, white, whatever ignorance you prescribe to, you can work with people for a paycheck, right? Because everybody does it all day long. You go to the plantation, you start picking your cotton at your desk, and you can get along with all these people that you don't like, that you don't know, and Mary keeps stabbing you in the back. You get along with her, sit in the meeting, you're cordial, y'all talk and negotiate and figure out how to make this project work or this program work with people that you can't stand at all. So much that you hate Mondays. But if you can compromise and work with somebody for a piddly little paycheck, you think perhaps you could compromise and work with somebody else for a world? Think about that. If you're still on the right or the left or one of these little ignorant 1% division groups, do you think you could cooperate and listen to somebody else for a world? It just boggles my mind, the things that people come up with, that, oh, the left is incorrigible, you can't talk to them. The right, you can't talk to them. You can't talk to them for your children. You can't talk to them for the future of where all of this is going, but you can do it for a silly paycheck. That's how brainwashed a lot of people are, and it's sick. And I think it might even be a mental illness, but you got to love these people and try to bring them back. Sister Mary said religion was where science came from. One thing to explain the things we didn't understand. Well, I don't know. I don't know, Mary. I'm not sure. I think before religion there was something, right? I think before, I don't think that we know all the details. I don't think we know all the history. I know some people right now were like, well, it's the Garden of Eden, and that was the first. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. Read your Bible. It'll bless you. Because before the Garden of Eden, there were other things here. Because when Adam and Eve left the garden, whatever that means, I'm not sure that they got it right when they translated and they wrote all this stuff down. But there were other people all around the earth when they left the garden. Right? And even prior to that, God said that I like to call it, destroyed the earth by flood multiple times. Or this is the last time it's going to destroy the earth by flood. So that was something here before. And then with archaeology, great stuff. They're finding all kind of submerged buildings off the coast of, Japan and India now. They're finding structures and towns and things that weren't possibly above the water levels for something like 60,000 years, whatever. I forgot the name of the town. Is it Mohenjo Daru or whatever? But, when archaeology starts finding and discovering not only a lot of the biblical towns, but the ones that we don't even know what the heck they are, what was here before us. And I think that's deep, and you have to really focus on things like the Sphinx. Nobody knows who built the Sphinx. Because of the weathering in the basin around the Sphinx, they feel that, you ever see that? Let me show that to you. So there was a geologist who went over there one day. Look, it's a story. And this is why I don't get too caught up with any group in thinking that they know it all. With my faith or anybody else's faith, or even the atheist, or even archaeology. I think we're all just trying to figure this thing out. And I just believe that people have no idea what's going on. Let me show this to you right here. I think it's this one. So what happened is a geologist went over there, and this is the basin surrounding the Sphinx. And the geologist went and looked at the rocks and said, this isn't right. Because the weathering that's on those rocks, that's not sand. Sand does not make patterns that weather down like that. That's water. You can even see where the channels of the water went. And we know, because of the core samples from Antarctica, that the Sphinx wasn't in a tropical environment where that much water damage could be done. I think it was something like minimally, it was like 10, 12,000 years ago. So this is pre most religions I know of, right? And so there was something here before. There was people here before. And even the texts talk about the angels and the demons were on the planet. So I'm not sure what all of that is, but we know that a lot came before us. And not only that, but that's the beginnings of how early the Sphinx could be. The Sphinx could be significantly older than that because the weathering on the basis of the Sphinx, it took thousands of years to actually do that. So we know at a bare minimum, the Sphinx has to be well over 10,000 years old. It could be 100,000 years. We have no idea. So, I think our brains, Mary, I think our brains are what want to know the truth. We want to seek the truth, and we want to find things out. We want to discover things. I think wherever you are, you always want to know what you came from and why you're here. So I think that's what kind of does it. So, yeah, Crystal, and I agree with you. We have no idea what's going on. And you ever want to become really stupid and dumb? Listen to somebody who couldn't possibly know tell you that they know. That's how to be one of the dumbest people in the room, is listen to people who couldn't possibly know tell you that you know. So I like to listen to people who talk about how they think and they question things and they try to figure it out. And a lot of times I'll say stuff and I'll be wrong. I think I know something that I couldn't possibly know. Somebody called me on, no, you couldn't possibly know that, and it's okay, because it's okay to not know. It's okay to not know, and I get asked sometimes, the pastors look at me, you're not supposed to be saying that. Hey, there's a difference between having faith because you believe in something and acting on that faith and causing damage, right? Like, and this is, and I'm gonna end on this, and this is my last little critique of the whole Israel-Palestine thing. If your faith leads to somebody being murdered, your faith is not in any God that has any love anywhere in it. Your faith is in you. And all of the drama and nonsense that's unfolding around the world because people feel that they have to support something because of their faith, they're not worshiping a God. They're worshiping men. And that is completely anti to any type of God, Gaia, love, peace, quantum physics, whatever you believe in. It's love, and it's working together, and it actually is balance that makes this planet work. And when you start to murder and destroy things, you offset that balance. So, but anyway, gotta get my cotton bag. I gotta go take care of some business. So listen, it was cool hanging out with y'all this morning. Love y'all. Y'all have a good day. Bye-bye, and don't react. Dang, I thought, oh man, I messed up my ending. Don't ever do an ending and you think you ended, but you don't really end and it doesn't end. So I'm still new at this. I'm gonna end on this. I go back.